Hi, yeah, on.
Good morning. I'm Christine Hill from the Rochester Sci Center, and
And I'm Biplab Biswas from the Sci Center as well.
we have the pleasure today to talk with Mr. Piper, who is the principal of the children's school here in Rochester City School District in New York. So we'd like to start out today by talking about share a little bit about the school itself, if you could, please.
Sure. The Rochester Children's School has been in existence for about 25 years. We have 332 students, and about 80% of those students are eligible for free or reduced lunch. So it's a very high needs population. Half of the students in our school are English language learners, so they come from other parts of the world. We have 30 countries represented, and the students speak 25 languages, different languages from around the world. Many times they spend a lot of their time in refugee camps before coming to Rochester, so this is their first impression, their first experience of living in the United States when they come here. So they have a lot of learning to do, and we're happy to do that. The other half of our population are Rochesterians. They're children from Rochester, and they come from every neighborhood in Rochester. So it's a very diverse student body.
And how does that work, having Rochesterian students and students from so many different countries together here learning?
Well, the vision is for the students who are from all over the world to teach our Rochesterians cultural competency, to teach them what it's like to live in other parts of the world, maybe teach them part of some of their language, so that those students can learn what it's like outside of Rochester. And for those Rochesterians, it's very important for them to share their culture as well, so that those students from other parts of the world can learn English as quickly as possible. It's a fully integrated program, so all students are together throughout the day.
Interesting. Can you talk a little bit about the needs that you have noticed with the students coming here?
So many of our English language learners have lived in refugee camps their whole life. So they were born in refugee camps, and some of their parents have lived in the refugee camps their whole life. So we're talking about generational poverty. And many of them come here after rigorous interview process. They don't necessarily want to leave their countries, but they have to due to persecution in their country. And then they wait to see what country will allow them to come. And then they're granted visas and they come here. But when they come here, there are many layers of needs. Not only educational, but medical needs, housing needs, transportational needs, clothing needs. They have many needs when they come here. And pretty much they're learning how to live and survive all over again in a new country. They're very resilient, of course, because they've overcome incredible obstacles. They're also very rich in culture and language, but they need a lot of support financially.
And how does the community as well as the Sci organization support those needs?
Well, one of the things that we're so grateful for is that the Sci organization here in Rochester came forward with so many school supplies for those students, because when they do arrive, they have no idea what they'll need for school. We want to make sure they get off to a strong start, that they have all the supplies that they need in order to learn, and that's where the Sci organization was so helpful, to give the students notebooks and book bags and pencils and pens and all those things that they need to be successful in school. They don't have any of those things when they arrive, so that's why we're so grateful to the Sci organization.
I was going to ask, so I mean, it's been a great privilege for us to, be part of this, initiative. It's such a nice thing to see all the kids. And I remember when we came to, meet you last time, the assembly, and how all the kids were excited, and we are welcome. So thank you for all that.
Thank you.
My question was going to be, what else can we do to help you or help the school?
Well, first of all, you're always welcome here, so thank you very much. And I think, when you come to a new country and everything is new to you, some of the things that are very helpful is just to make sure that those new citizens know that there are people who care. They know that there are people there if they need help, maybe going to the doctors, they might be able to sponsor them in some way, even with transportation, because many of them, they don't know how to take the buses. They don't know, there's so much bureaucracy as far as how do you make an appointment to go see the doctor, how do I go about getting my driver's license, all those things they have to learn. So if there are people here who can guide them through those processes, I think it's very helpful to them, very, very helpful. And it really means the difference between them being successful here in America or them failing, unfortunately, because you need somebody who can guide you through that process. Many of them come with post-traumatic stress because of what they've incurred in their country. So just letting them know that there are people here who want them here, that embrace them, and that want them to be successful. That's very important. I think now more than ever, with the political climate and with refugees throughout the world disbanding through other countries, this is becoming more and more important.
So helping them out, also like completing the multitude of forms that we have here
Yes.
in the US, even to getting into school, they need
Yes.
support with that, as
Yes.
well as navigating all of the other resources that they could have,
Yep.
so.
Right now we're entering Rochester winter, which is such a, it's for many of the students, so our biggest language group now is from Nepal, but we also have students from Burma, from Thailand, from a lot of Arabic speaking countries. Many of the warmer climates, they're not used to such a harsh winter.
Right.
So even winter coats, winter gloves, making sure they have the proper footwear is very important.
And how are the families assisted in terms of looking for job opportunities? Is that something that happens here, or are there other agencies that support? And maybe that's something we could support with as well.
Many of them, are involved in ESOL programs, so they learn English, and then once they start to learn English, there might be also a job training program as well that's involved in that. But that's something that's very important, is trying to identify what skills they come with, and then trying to find job opportunities here where they're all very eager to find jobs. They want to be self-sufficient. They want their children to get a good education. I've never met a parent who doesn't want their children to have a good education. So helping them in all those areas, I think, is really critical.
Great. Do we want to? And so, is there anything else that you want to add, or Biplav, that you want to ask for?
I think, again, thank you for your time today. I know
Oh,
you
sure.
have a very busy schedule, and you made up time for us.
Anytime.
Thank you, we really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thanks so
Thank you.
much. Thanks for
Thank
your
you.
help.
And please let us know if there's other things that we could do, or we could reach out and maybe at some time talk about.
Thanks,
those other-
Chris.
Sure,
Thank you.
we'd really like to do that.
Thanks. I hope that was what you